For over 35 years, Larry Dodd has served in leadership roles for organizations such as the San Francisco Giants, KB Homes, Meritage Homes, and Catholic Management Services. During that time, Larry also logged over 16,000 consulting hours with organizations in the healthcare, agriculture, real estate, high-tech, manufacturing, and the non-for-profit services. The one critical need that linked all of these organizations was the urgent need to implement change. So in 2011, Larry Dodd founded Open Playbook, a consulting, speaking, and training organization. Open Playbook helps leaders build the inward-facing financial architecture and management discipline to effectively scale their organizations for success. As Larry says, as a Gallup certified strengths coach, I drive organizational change through strengths-based leadership. The results are stronger, more cohesive teams are executing more strategic processes that provide the foundation to scale organizations purposely with the desired goals being met. May I introduce to you Larry Dodd.
In the summer of 1969, I discovered that I was the worst soccer player in the world. The tragic part about that, everybody else discovered it too. All of my future teammates. Picture this. Coach walks out. He has the ball in his hands. He puts us in a big circle. I didn't know what soccer was. I had no idea. I knew something was happening. I just didn't know what. Coach gets to the center of the circle. He turns around and he kicks the ball. And who's he kick the ball to? He kicks the ball to the new guy, me. And what did I do? What would you do? I caught the ball! I caught the ball! And for a moment, absolute silence, followed by a huge roar of laughter from the entire team. Now, I say the entire team, but I didn't feel like part of the team. I was ashamed, and I was scared to death. Coach starts walking towards me. As I hold the ball, I'm looking up, and he's looking directly at me. And he walks right over to me, and he gets down on one knee, and he looks at me, and he says, "It's just a warm-up, Larry. When I kick the ball, kick it to somebody else. It's soccer." And then he said, "You got this." And he turned around, and he walked away to the center of the circle, and what did he do? He kicked the ball to me. And what did I do? I kicked it to somebody else. And I had a successful experience. I built some confidence. So, Coach was probably wondering what kind of a crazy kid goes out for a sport that he knows nothing about. But he had a whole new problem. He had to find a place to put this crazy kid while he learned the game of soccer. And for me, that was in the middle of the field where I could do the least damage. But here's something else Coach did. Every night after practice, Coach would come and talk to me. And he'd start by saying, "Larry, here's a few things that you're doing well." And then he'd say, "Here's a few things that I want you to work on, and you could be better." And finally, he'd look at me and he would say, "You got this." And this continued for a year over the course of time. And you know what? Gradually, I got a little better. And then I got a little better. I got a little bit better. I got a little bit better. I got a little bit better. And you know where Coach had me at the end of the year, this little kid with glasses? Starting on his soccer team. His all-star team. Position? Goalie! Goalies use their hands! Goalies use their hands! So how did he do that, and what can we learn from that? First of all, he heard the whisper of a strength. Everybody else laughed. Coach saw determination. Second is he connected with me. When the coach talked to me, the whole world went away. Third, he built trust over time. I would run through a wall for my coach. And finally, he kicked me the ball. He kicked me the ball. So why is this important, and what can we learn from it? Especially in business today. Harvard Business Review tells us that 60 to 70% of change initiatives in organizations fail. 60 to 70%. Why? We bury ourselves in spreadsheets and flowcharts, and we forget the fundamental human equation, which is basic and it's primal. People are not machines. We don't change as fast as technology, and we never will. Now, great leaders know this, and they build relationships that are authentic. They look for potential in people, and they develop those whispers of talent into productive results. They touch people's hearts. Coach touched my heart, and he turned a non-productive player into a contributing team member. When building people and building teams, there's 4 factors that we need to remember. First, listen for what everybody else doesn't, the whispers of talent. Second, meet people where they're at, not where you think they should be, not where you are, not where you want them to be. Meet them right where they stand. Third, build trust over time through enthusiasm. And fourth, kick them the ball. And when you've done that, go back to step 1 and do it again. And do it again, and do it again, and do it again, and do it again, and do it again. And when you do that, you will find that you build more effective teams than you ever dreamed possible.